Pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
To you because it feels like it's working. Good morning to you. Opening drive on a Wednesday. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, DC in the AM on the OD with JJ. Sorry.
Keep going. I like that.
How you living?
Well, how are you?
You all right?
Very well.
What's up?
What's up?
How you feeling? Big game last night for you, huh? Overtime again for the Lady Lobos. The voice of the Lobos, J.J. Buck, was courtside for OT last night. A W for the I'll stop now. 81-78. They squeaked by Eastern Illinois. Explain this to maybe the average fan or the fan who has not seen the Lady Lobos yet, because there's a lot of teams, and Bradbury said afterwards, and my favorite quote from coaches, and it happens often, and very often it's true, we knew they were really good despite their record, right? And he said that afterwards. And you watched them. What's going on with the ladies?
Well, the reality is this team, they were picked sixth in the preseason poll, and I think that's where they're going to be.
Is that right?
They're not a conference contender at this moment, but they're sure as heck fun to watch with that backcourt of Nat Ogman, Nia Wilson, Vienna Cumber doing her thing, career high 14 rebounds when her shot wasn't falling. Paula Reddy scored 25 points. And the Lobos are going to be in a lot of games like this. Close games throughout the season because the offense, there's a lot of inconsistency because they don't have the same type of shooters they've had over the past. And, yeah, it's one where you look at it, and in your first reaction, they're not very good. And
That's what I asked. I said, are they just not very good, or what? Because I've not seen them in person yet.
They're not a conference contender right now.
Yeah.
But they're just finding ways to win. And the one thing, if you're watching that game, you were entertained.
Yeah.
It was a heck of a basketball game.
That was, and I'm not going to lie. You played in Cancun a couple of games, and I haven't been able to get out there yet. And so the home games I've had, it's that time of the year for me. And so I haven't seen a lot of the men, to be honest with you. I didn't see any of the games in Vegas. So that's what I said. Are they just not very good, or what's up? You talked about Vienna Cumber had 14 and 14, right? And then Paula Reyes with 25. All right. Well, that's what I mean. Look, winning those games beats the hell out of losing them. You learn how to win close games.
They made a ton of plays down the stretch. They went on a 7-0 run.
Well, they were down, 76-71 with like 2 minutes to go?
They were down 11 at half. They went on a 12-0 run to start the third quarter. And then Eastern Illinois immediately went on 11-0 run. And so your 1 point lead turns into a 10-point deficit again. You come back, overcome multiple deficits. You like the fact that they play hard.
Yeah.
They can overcome that. But I definitely understand that when we look at some of these teams and seeing what's happening, the mindset of what's really going on. And it's still trying to figure themselves out. A team that they don't shoot well from it outside, and so sometimes they're not able to really pull away.
Yeah.
And you saw that in Cancun when they had some massive scoring droughts.
Yeah, they're going to have to score. So the ladies win last night. Men play tonight. Louisiana Tech will be in the pit. Louisiana Tech is 5-1. They play in Conference USA. That will be tonight over on News Radio KKOB. And then the Aggies are here on Saturday. JT Toppin, once again, Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Week. You may have Jalen House. You probably will not have Jamal Mashburn. This is weird to me. And it's early and it's uncomfortable. And it feels like when we talk to Lobo coaches, well, who's your quarterback, right? It almost feels like, well, who's your backcourt right now? And Richard Pitino addressed it yesterday and said that, he loves what Denton Toppin are doing, and he's got, a freshman and a sophomore, or a sophomore and a freshman in that order. House has missed 5 of UNM's 6 games this season. Evidently, he's been practicing this week. He's trending towards being able to play tonight. Jamal Mashburn, in Richard Pitino's words, is hobbling. Quote, I would highly doubt, end quote, that he plays against Louisiana Tech. Not a bad Louisiana Tech team that's coming in here. And the injuries, I at some point, and I think that point is here because I'm concerned. Now, I'm not going to look past anyone, man. I've watched college basketball long enough. You know, I'm not going to look past anyone. Are you concerned about this? Because I'm starting to get to the point. Yeah.
The answer's always been yes.
Yeah.
It's not, are you concerned? It's yes, you should be concerned with Jalen House. But the thing about it is you have a legit point guard, Donovan Dent. You have a freshman that's emerging, and you have experienced players that you know can play better. In Nelly Jr. Joseph, in Jamal Baker, figuring out kind of a new identity on the fly, which is what the Lobos have had to do over the last couple of weeks.
Louisiana Tech comes in. They've won 5 in a row. They are 5-1. They opened up the season at Colorado State, who is now nationally ranked. Colorado State may be the best or second best team in this league right now, right? They lost 81-73 up in Fort Collins, so an 8-point game. And they've won 5 in a row. They beat Lyon, Lyon, not like the Cowardly Lion from Wizard of Oz, or Lyon. I don't know where that is. I'm going to guess in the South somewhere. Louisiana Monroe, Southern Utah, McNeese, and Dillard. Not the department store Dillard, singular, just one dude, Dillard. 105-65. So I don't know how good they are. I'm going to judge them. Is it fair that I just judged them on the Colorado State score in opening night, which is so totally unfair? And they played the Rams with an 8 up there.
Things are so all over the place early in the season,
right?
Because some teams have played in good MTEs over Feast Week. Some teams have played 1 or maybe even 2 D2 teams in their schedule. And this is a La Tech team that's sitting 93 right now in Ken Palm. So top 100 team coming in tonight.
All right, so that would be a nice win then. A top 100 is good. Dude, I look at their – I know where most universities are, right? I've been doing this long enough. I've heard of almost everybody. It's rare I look at someone's schedule and there's 3 schools that, I have no idea where they are, and I'm not certain I've ever even heard of Lyon, Dillard, or Dahl Christian, Dall, Dahl Christian. You heard of any of those 3? And I'm pretty good at this. I've been doing this a long time. I've seen a lot of games against a lot of. I'm not bagging on their schedule. I'm just telling. It's fact. I'm just looking down their schedule. I'm like, I honestly don't know where Dahl Christian is, where Dillard is, or where Lyon is. Have you heard of any of this?
No, I haven't. I was tempted to look it up, but
I'm tempted.
yeah,
I might still do it.
think Dollar Christian out of no, I have no idea.
Have you?
Oh,
They beat the Lion Scots, Scots.
From Scotland?
I don't know, dude. They beat them 100-43. I look, man. And then they beat Dillard 105-65. Maybe those are high schools. I don't know. That's crazy though, because it's every once in a while you'll see a school. Remember when the first time Fresno played like Pacific Life?
yeah, Life Pacific.
I'm like, is that my insurance company? That was my first thought out of it. All right, so Lobo basketball tonight over on News Radio KKOB, and the potential of being without Mashburn and House. Most likely without Mashburn, maybe some House. Richard Pitino going for his 200th victory tonight. He's 199 and 169. He's got 40 of those wins at UNM. And were you at the press conference yesterday? The Pitino press conference?
I was not.
Yeah, nor was I. I had a ton going on. And then this weekend. Here come the Aggies. And I'm not asking you to look ahead, but we can. I know the team isn't supposed to look ahead. Richard Pitino says, haven't even thought about it. It's all hands on deck for Louisiana Tech. That's what a coach is going to tell you. But as of Tuesday afternoon, according to Jeff Grammer's story in today's Journal, the UNM said that there were already 13,000 tickets out, and it's trending towards a potential sellout of 15,411 in the pit, which would be nice. Of course, this series was, what's the word, paused last year. I mean, is that fair? It was paused last year. Last time Lobo Aggies sold out in the pit was about a decade ago. Last year's was just about sold out, and then you know what happened. We had the whole shooting incident on campus. But December 3rd of 2014, well, they had 15,000 in 15 and 14. 15,000 plus. So pretty good crowds. I think a lot of people are looking forward to Saturday night. Once you get through tonight, you're going to start hearing a lot of Lobo Aggie talk. I'm not sure. I think the game's going to be great. You saw the Aggies. Do you think this is going to be a really good game? I mean, it's a rivalry game, but it's brand new guys. I don't know if Aggie fan can name me 3 Aggies right now. Honestly.
It's for New Mexico State. If they can muck it up, that's what they're going to need to do, because they are an all-bus team right now. Like, you look at them and you go, all right, they got some grown dudes, but the chemistry is not there, and that was obvious in the Fresno State game.
Where they should have won that game.
We've seen.
Yeah.
And when you don't have the chemistry and you don't have that togetherness, games that you should win, you don't.
Aggies are 4-5. Did they win was it last night they played University of the Southwest? They beat them 84-49. They had lost 3 in a row to Fresno State, Southern Illinois, and that overtime game in Louisville, where they finished with 4 players on the floor. 4 players on the floor. So they've beaten Sul Ross, Western New Mexico, Northern Colorado, and the University of the Southwest. You're like, okay. Lost to Kentucky, UC Irvine, Fresno State, Southern Illinois, and Louisville. And their next game is going to be at the pit. So it's rivalry week, and it should be a lot of fun on Saturday. And I whether you know who those guys are or not, they're going to be coming in wearing New Mexico State uniforms, and so it will be Lobos Aggies.
It's going to be a great Saturday. It's a double dose. The Rio Grande rivalry. Women play at 1, men play at 7.
And you need separate tickets for each. This isn't one of those where you get one ticket and get both games. They'll clear the building out, and you get both. Hey, you want to do an early red zone at 7:30 today? Does that work for you? I know it's done. All right, we're going to get into the NFL red zone at 7:30. When we come back, the final 8, the quarterfinals, are set for the NBA not playing tournament, the midseason tournament. And are you watching? It feels like it's working. Is it working for you? People are talking about the NBA. Who's the Final Four and what's the controversy? Because there is one, and it's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She's been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They've been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver is, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sal, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated,
Rip, plaster, paint.
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
This way, I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need lights up getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, right? Boom.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them.
Of the game. We hear that so often. The integrity of the game. Do not mess with the integrity of the game. But that's what we've been hearing out of the NBA post or midseason tournament. Good morning. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck in DC. Are they messing with the integrity of the game? I think the NBA is hit, and JJ, I think you agree. A lot of its goals, the games obviously mattered. The in-season tournament games mattered more to the players. The fans seem engaged. There's a buzz. It feels like, in some respect, it's working as well as it could have worked in year one. You agree?
I do.
Okay. But it came down to last night of pool play. And there were teams that had to win and win big to get into the quarterfinals, to get out of pool play, to advance to the knockout stage. And the tiebreaker, and it came down in two situations, was point differential. The Knicks finished second in East Group B behind the Milwaukee Bucks. But they had to run up the score a little bit. They beat the Hornets 115-91. And they won the tiebreaker because of point differential. Cleveland finished their group at also 3-1, but their point differential wasn't large enough to advance to the quarterfinals. So in New York, Josh Hart with the Knicks said after the game he wasn't fond of it. Quote, and this is where it gets interesting. It was interesting, he said. I don't really like it. We were focused at first just about winning. The last couple minutes, it feels weird. At a certain point, you just start chasing points, doing all that. So it kind of messes with the integrity of the game a little bit, end quote. It's a concerning quote, is it not? Or is it not just, it's just, that's how
I don't
it
think
is.
it's a concerning quote. I think everyone is still kind of trying to fill this out, and the NBA wanted this to be different. They didn't want it to just be like other regular season games. And that's part of the point differential. And there's a couple of situations where players have gotten upset, but they didn't need to be upset. And everyone is still trying to figure out what all this means.
Right.
Like, this is, you have to have the note card the entire time. Like, it's not easy to follow everything that's going on with the point differential. Like, you're not going to know just looking at standings who needs what points, this or that. So that's why I appreciate they put it on the screen and things like that. But there was a game in which the Raptors were doing that late. The bench was telling Pascal Siakam, go score, get a bucket, put up a 3. And I think it was DeMar DeRozan who got all bitter and was like, no, this is ridiculous. And it's like, well, by the way, both of you guys are eliminated anyway. So it doesn't matter. But this is different, and they're trying to make things different.
So I'll give you another one, because what you're talking about. Cleveland was playing Atlanta. Cleveland finished group play at 3-1. They did not advance because they didn't go down. They lost a point differential. They were up by 20. They're playing Atlanta. So Atlanta's coach, Quinn Snyder, down by 20, pulled his starters with 3:54 left, right? So there's 4 minutes left. I'm down by 20. I'm done. Well, Cleveland had their coaches, the assistant coaches were on the sideline monitoring the other scores. They're like, dude, we need points. So J.B. Bickerstaff is the coach of Cleveland, kept his first team in and tried to run up. And his coaches were monitoring from their seats, and they were trying to run up the score. Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland Cavaliers, on the last few minutes, quote, I feel like we're all trying to score, but also respect the game. So it's different, especially when they took their starters out. You're trying to balance it, but at the end of the day, you're playing to win. You're playing to get to Vegas, get to the tournament, but it's definitely a little weird. That was his quote. Head coach Quinn Snyder. To be honest, I try to focus on my team. I'm sure you can understand that. In that situation, it isn't ideal. So I don't know another way to break a tie. Okay, if you're going to play 4 games, there's going to be ties. And in soccer, and I know this is modeled after soccer, right? You group play, then knockout round, and they use goal differential. It's pretty hard to run up the score in soccer. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
It's not hard to run up the score when they pull out their first team and you're trying to win by 40. So I don't know. Maybe this will just be, that's how it's going to be in this tournament, and guys are going to have to deal with it and understand it and go. Here's what you got. The Kings came back on the Warriors last night. Warriors scored 77 the first half? I turned it off. Kings came back and won. So in the West, it'll be New Orleans at Sacramento, and then Phoenix at the Lakers. The 2 winners will go to the Final Four in Vegas. East, Boston at Indiana, New York at Milwaukee. NBA kind of got a lot of what they wanted in this, didn't they? They get the Lakers, they get Phoenix, they get New York, they get Giannis, they get the Celtics, they get Zion. I mean, they could have asked for a little bit more. I guess they could have asked for the champions, or they could have asked for Philly, but they got a lot of what they want. You're going to get a lot
of that because they're the good teams in basketball.
They got a lot of what they want.
All you got to do is win 3 or 4 games, and you're going to be able to win your group. The ones I do look at, though, is New Orleans and a team like Indiana. If those are the stories where the Pacers, they don't have any expectations this season. But all of a sudden,
you're there playing for something.
It's the knockout round. At least that fan base is going to get a little bit interested. So if you can get a couple of things like that, I think that's good for basketball with teams that don't have high postseason expectations, but might be able to get a little early season buzz, get things going for their young players, for their fan base. But still, it comes down to the best teams are going to be there at the end.
Yeah. All right. Are you watching? I'm kind of curious. You know, is it something that's caught your eye, or is it you're just you're watching the CFP show last night, or you're watching, right? Which, by the way, was also very interesting, and we got to get into the college football standings. All right. Let me go to the text line 505-246-0610 888-922-06. I think it's the same number every day. Louisiana Tech's basketball schedule, that's who Lobos play tonight, equals your Aggies football schedule. Okay? At least I know where Well, I guess maybe a lot of you didn't know where Jacksonville State was. I think a lot of you thought it was in Florida.
It's a question.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But they are 5-1, and so your Aggies is what he said. Okay, you can send emails, Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. You know what else we got to do? Regular season's over, right? You got that hanging on your
yes.
the board over there, right? We got to go through. We'll do that in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll go through the over-unders and how we did on picking those. All right, when we come back, want to go in the red zone? We never do it in the 7 o'clock hour. Let's give our 7 o'clock audience the red zone. DC's put together some of the big stories in the National Football League, and so we're going to go give you our opinions of backup quarterbacks and top 20 running backs and whatever he's asking. We'll go in the red zone. It's interesting stuff going into week, 13? On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, rip, plaster, paint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, stop, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She's been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They've been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
José Mahad here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of the construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez. This is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of ND Safety. ND Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. ND Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hey, Dad, when you out?
Ryan, Dahl Christian, and what was the other one? Dillard. Dillard singular. 505-246-06, and that's some of the teams Louisiana Tech has played. That's who the Lobos played tonight, but Tech's 5-1.
So I did find out about Dahl Christian.
Yeah.
That's actually Dallas Christian. And
okay, so that's very different.
Yeah,
Why does it have to say Dahl?
Yeah, see, I don't know. I couldn't quite pick that one out, but it's definitely Dallas Christian.
Okay.
It costs about $27,000 a year to go there.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm great baseball program.
Apparently, yes.
Great, no, terrific baseball program.
Oh, really? Okay, in reality, that is.
Yeah, no,
oh, cool.
A terrific baseball program.
Excellent.
Yes. All right. Did you find out about Lyon and Dillard?
It took some time to figure out Dahl was actually Dallas, so I'll get back on Lyon here in a bit.
All right, 505-246-0610. Let's do a little NFL and go into the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, we've seen quite a few quarterbacks this year. Some of them wow us for a game or two, then throw 4 interceptions in one of the ugliest games of the year. So, of all the backups that have started games this year, which ones are most likely are we going to see taking snaps as a QB1 next year in 2024?
Wow. All the backups who have started. Do you know what the number is?
I believe it's 15.
That's all? I would have said north of 30 because a couple teams have gone 12. Like the Jets have started 2 of them, right? All the backups. I'm just kind of going through. I'll tell you who I think it is. Well, there's 2 that I think it might be. You want me to just go with one?
Do it.
I'm going to go with Aiden O'Connell. Is Aiden O'Connell still considered a backup?
Yeah.
I think the Raiders are starting to consider him maybe, although I think he's going to go another way because they just like high-profile dudes. The other one is Minshew always seems to find a place.
I don't think Minshew's going to be a starting quarterback anywhere. He'll go be a backup or even continue to be a backup in Indianapolis. If I'm in Indianapolis, I want to keep him around with seeing what's happening with Angie Richardson. Mine would be Baker Mayfield in Tampa.
But he was a starter day one, wasn't he? I didn't consider him.
Yeah, he was.
He was the day one starter.
He won the competition.
Yeah, I just didn't consider.
Well, you look at these ones; they're going to have new coaches. The Raiders are going to have a new coaching staff. Are they going to only keep Aiden O'Connell around? I think Washington's going to have a new coaching staff, and Sam Howell is leading.
What have I told you? None of them.
Yards.
What have I told you? None of them. Or maybe one of the guys in Atlanta because somebody's got to be the quarterback in Atlanta, but only one of them is a backup. I don't. I mean, what if I told you none of them?
That'd be a fair answer.
I mean, is that your answer too? I mean, I don't really have one. I'm not going with Zach Wilson or Bailey Zappi or Jake Browning or DTR or Minshew or here it is. This is the easy answer. It's Will Levis.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Will Levis is the answer.
Starting quarterback. So I don't even.
Yeah, Will Levis is the answer.
Answer is none because they're backup quarterback.
Yeah, but
none of these guys went out and took a job.
Will Levis may be their guy. Will Levis is the answer.
Second and goal.
All right, as of right now, there are 0 running backs with more than 1,000 rushing yards. Christian McCaffrey currently leads the pack with 939 yards, while Zach Moss rounds out the top 10 with 672. So looking at the top 20 running backs, how many will rush for more than 1,000 yards this regular season?
What are there 5 games left? Or 6 in some cases, right? 5. McCaffrey, Mostert, Jacobs, Derrick Henry and Travis Etienne. Etienne's got 6 games left. He's at 726 yards. He needs, 275 in 6 games? Yeah. I got 5.
I'll add DeAndre Swift and Zach Moss to that list.
Yeah, I almost went there. Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor out 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a really good point with Jonathan Taylor out.
And we saw Zach Moss do some really good things there, and I think he could sneak towards that 1,000-yard mark.
3rd and goal.
All right, Pittsburgh Steelers haven't allowed an opponent to earn 20 points in the past 7 contests, helping them to go 5-2 over that stretch despite an offense that played so poorly that Mike Tomlin had to fire their offensive coordinator. TJ Watt, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, is tied for the league lead with 13.5 sacks. Watt has generated 25 quarterback hits, 12 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 6 passes defended, and an interception. Tomlin said on Tuesday via the team's official website, not only for the defense, but for our football team, there is a lot to learn from him in terms of how he goes about his business, how he works to maximize his talent level, what he does to maintain a level of production. Let's be honest, TJ is the best defensive player on the planet right now. And he proves that week in and week out with the plays that he delivers us. So is TJ Watt the best defensive player in the NFL right now? If not, who is?
I think when you look at the guys, and we talk about a Myles Garrett,
that's my name, man.
A Micah Parsons, and Aaron Donald, sometimes it's hard to see the impact because teams try to scheme those players out of the game. And that's what is so impressive about TJ Watt is he still has that level of impact. All those stats that you read out, 13.5 sacks, tied for the league lead right now. And when you know you're the focal point of an opponent's blocking scheme and you want to run the opposite way from these guys, that you're still able to produce like that, I have to agree with Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I think it's him. It's hard not to say Khalil Mack. I still think Aaron Donald is really, really good. The Bosa's are good when they're healthy, but it's hard not to say it. Now, defensive player, guy who covers is a good defensive player too. And I look at what Deron Bland is doing this year, and I'm not ready to say he's the best defensive player in the game, but I think he's terrific. And I think to compare a DB to a defensive lineman is like I guess the answer is the biggest impact. And it's hard to say TJ Watt doesn't make the biggest impact on a game defensively.
Deron Bland is having one of the most special seasons you're going to see from a defensive back. 5 pick sixes.
Yeah.
Just finds a way to always be around the football. And that's the team that we're looking at in the secondary and thinking, oh, man, but the Cowboys are going to have some issues.
Yeah.
And why am I blanking right now on the cornerback that went down? They lost him for the season.
I am too.
And Diggs, right?
Diggs, yeah.
And Deron Bland has stepped up and been fantastic.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, yesterday on ESPN, I heard a very interesting conversation. I really just want to hear your take on it. So it was basically, who would you take to win the Super Bowl? The Eagles, 49ers, and Chiefs, or the field?
So do I get
all 3?
One of those 3 teams?
Yeah,
or
you get all 3, or you get the other 29.
Correct.
I'm taking those 3.
Any particular reason?
Yeah, I think those 3 teams are significantly better than everybody else. I mean, the only other team that you're thinking about potentially is Baltimore. You could throw Miami in, I guess. And Dallas fans are going, what about us? But yeah, if I had to make a bet, and you're saying one of those 3 or the other 20, I would take those 3. I think that those 3 have the best chance. Now, will it stun me if someone else wins? No, I don't know that I think they're head and shoulders better, but I do think one of those 3 teams is the best team in the NFL.
I think those teams in the NFC are head and shoulders better than everyone else.
Okay. Yeah.
And so the next part of the question, DC, that you put out there is, would your answer change if you took one of those teams out? If you took one of those NFC teams out, it would for me. As I think that the Chiefs are on shakier ground in the AFC.
I think that's fair.
And I think Philadelphia, San Francisco is destined to see another NFC championship game between those 2 teams.
They play here in a few weeks, don't they?
They play this weekend.
Is it this weekend? That's in a few weeks. pretty big weekend, isn't it? Sunday's a big day for me, dude.
It is?
Selection Sunday.
Oh my goodness!
And
yes.
there's pretty good games on. You're gonna pardon me if you guys carry me a little bit on the NFL on Monday when we walk in.
I think we can do that.
A little busy.
Little bit.
Let me ask you this: how does that Selection Sunday work for you?
How much time we got left in the segment? I mean, how does it work for me?
Yeah. I mean, like when you go in, obviously on Sunday morning, you know who you're picking, right?
I think the selections are going to go. I just got the timetable. I think they're going to come out either at 12:15 or 12:45. The CFP comes out, I think, at 10. I literally just got the email last night. I'll tell you exactly, the timing on it. But for me, I go in and I've been having conversations. Often I have a pretty good idea. Sometimes I know at least one side. I'm pretty certain.
So it could actually change on you?
It has flat out changed on me day of.
Wow.
No, it flat out has changed. So here's the deal. Anytime after, so 12:45 after is when the rest of the Bulls will start coming out. Matchups for the remaining New Year's 6 outside of the CFP. CFP will come out at 10:15. The rest of the New Year's 6 games will come out at 12:30. And then after 12:45, the other Bulls will start trickling out. Dude, there was a day, the year we had Marshall, that one completely fell out of the sky that day. And it was late in the morning, early afternoon that one, when they were playing Colorado State, which turned out to be it was a great game, 3-point game. Michael Gallup and that team and Marshall won that game. There was the Central Michigan year when they played in the MAC championship, and I knew I had San Diego State on one side. We're looking for a matchup, and Jim McElwain texted me, the head coach of Central Michigan, after they lost. Said, "How do we get in your game?" And I'm like, do I take a team that just played in a conference championship? That'd be pretty good against a good San Diego. So that one kind of came together late. There was I want to say the North Texas Utah State year, JJ. Mm-hmm. At one point, I got a text from ESPN that said your game is going to be North Texas Boise State mid morning, and we were moving things around, changing the release, and then it came back. Nope, we're back to North Texas Utah State. Utah State was 10-2, dude. That was the Jordan Love team. Jordan Love won MVP, and that was a really good team. So yeah, I'll go in early. The staff will start to come in, and often I've got a pretty good idea, and I think by Saturday morning I'll have a decent idea on one side, and then hopefully by late afternoon I'll have a better idea on where we're going. But literally, and I know I say this all the time, and people say I don't. The conference championship games, a couple of them actually, are going to come into play for our selection.
So you're telling me that at 10:45 you might get an email saying sorry about your luck? On Sunday morning?
That certainly happened, yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, that certainly swung. I mean, you got to look.
Well, so much things have changed because I think a lot of people, the way that they learned about the bowl selection process was you have the 7th pick.
Yeah, it's not that way anymore.
It's not the way it works.
Yeah, it's not just slotted, although it is slotted in some places. I was talking to Bernie Olivas, who runs the Sun Bowl, and he's slotted in a certain selection in Pac-12. He doesn't have a leeway to move. Now, the Holiday Bowl, who's right in front of him, has a leeway to move one selection. He can go up or down, where he's slotted. They're allowed to move one space. Sun Bowl basically is slotted, so he'll be assigned a team. So it depends on your agreement with the conference. But yeah, dude, it's you got to think there's 82 teams that have to be played. This is a hell of a puzzle to put together, right? You got to start thinking about who played who didn't play, all the different factors that go into it. Commitments, other commitments, what makes sense for television matchups. Are we putting a 11-1 against a 6-6? Well, that doesn't look right. Right? All these things. So there's 82 teams in this puzzle, 41 games that are trying to put this puzzle together. And so there's so many moving parts, and it's not just about your game, right? I may want them, but they want them too. And well, you got half a loaf and they're going to take their regional and I got to take care of that game over there. And so we're going to put this team here. And it's dude, I mean, you're welcome to come by and sit around the office and watch football on Sunday, because there'll be other people drinking out of my office bar. But it's an insane day, dude. And then once you do it, then all of a sudden then it starts, because now I'm talking to ADs and we're talking about travel, and my ops people are on the phone with their ops people and site visits, and when do we get our patches and what color are we wearing, and when what's our hotel, and we got to get all that. Yeah, and then it just boom. It's like as soon as the invites go out, then it's boom.
Start of the first work week of the year for you.
You're cute. 505-246-0610. That's darling. 888-922-0610. Let's talk some college football when we come back. There is a couple of names I hear a lot more yesterday than I had heard before for the Lobo coaching job. That doesn't mean they're necessarily candidates. As Eddie Nunez told us, don't believe everything you read on social media. But there's two names that I heard a lot more yesterday. I don't know about you. Latest, or at least the latest chatter on the UNM coaching search next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, rip, plaster, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you that man home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all in there.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She's been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They've been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver is, and my wife, and our daughter. They didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up root beer and number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop, it's not But a fine booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Oregon 5, Ohio State in front of Texas. Ohio State doesn't play this weekend. Texas does. Alabama 8. So those are the teams you're looking at, the top 8. What if Alabama beats Georgia? Texas wins. Texas is still slotted above Alabama. Texas won at Alabama. But Ohio State's in front of them. Do they both jump Ohio State? Does Ohio State fall if they don't play? Now, if everybody wins out, you got it. It's nice and easy for the committee. If everybody doesn't win out, if Oregon beats Washington, here's where it's clean. If Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship, if Michigan beats Iowa in the Big Ten championship, if Florida State beats Louisville in the ACC championship, and I don't think it matters. I think in that scenario, Washington or Oregon, the winner of the Pac-12 is in. I think one loss Pac-12 champion, one loss Pac-12 champion would get in over a one loss Ohio State. But that's how it plays out, nice and clean. Where it gets murky is if Alabama beats Georgia. Now you have a mess. I mean, that's the one thing that throws into everything, right? I don't think the SEC gets left out. Does Georgia get in still instead of Alabama? Well, what about head-to-head? Well, how do you jump Alabama over Texas when Texas beat them? Well, but they're a one-loss SEC team. Yeah, but their one loss was to the Big 12 champ, and they lost at home. That's where it could get murky. So that's what you're watching, boys and girls. All right, 2 names I've been hearing a lot, just way a lot more yesterday, JJ, on the UNM coaching search than I had heard the last couple of days. And the Rocky Long thing got loud to me yesterday. And I'm like, I don't see it. I was told by some people who think, I know for sure he wants it. I haven't talked to Rocky. Okay. So I don't know. I would be surprised if he wants to do it again. Although I guess I shouldn't be, because I know he too loves this place. And after hearing what Eddie had to say at the press conference, I would be surprised if Eddie goes that way.
I would be too, because at this point it'd almost be like, we're hiring Rocky Long for your head coach, but then who's going to be your NIL transfer portal guy? Like, is Rocky going to want to deal with all that?
Let me ask you this. If Rocky Long was the coach, would that increase the NIL contributions? Would more people in this town just go, all right, I'm in. Rocky's back. I'm in. I'm going to give football NIL. Because I think that's a legitimate argument, as opposed to somebody, the next name that I'm going to tell you that most people don't know.
Is it because just the older people have a better connection to Rocky Long?
Because there is a recollection of when you were competitive and winning and going to bowl games and when you bowl eligible 7 years in a row and beating the Utahs and beating the TCUs and beating those teams, and he was the guy. And if there's a guy that can do it, he can do it. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made for that. I think if Rocky was going to get in, and again, I've not spoken with him. If he was going to do it, I think he would do it understanding he's got it. I mean, this is the way it is now, right? He gets it. He was at San Diego State. He was at Syracuse. He's been around the whole NIL period. Now, I don't know what his involvement is. I don't even know what his thoughts are on it. I don't even want to pretend I know. But if anybody who's going to get into coaching, anybody who's going to stay in coaching, anybody who's going to be in college coaching in 2023, 24, and beyond is going to be in it.
You got to do it this way.
Whether you're embracing it, you're going to have to play NIL and transfer portal. The other name I hear a lot, everywhere I look, and I don't know him, but the name Brent Vigen, the Montana State coach, pops up in every single search thing I look at. They're 32-8 under him at Montana State. He was an assistant coach under Craig Bowl and Laramie at Wyoming from 2017 to 2020. He was there while Craig Bowl built Wyoming back up to a regular bowl contender and one of the better, more consistent teams in this league. He's a head coach, so he's got head coaching experience, not at the FBS level, but he's coached in this league. That's the other name. Look, I still hear Bronco Mendenhall, Gary Patterson, and Matt Wells a lot. I heard Matt Wells' name a lot for the Louisiana Monroe job. John Hartwell's the athletic director there. John Hartwell's the guy who was the athletic director at Utah State when Matt was coaching Jordan Love at Utah State. So there's a relationship there. But those two names got really loud yesterday. Another name that popped up, and I want to run this by you. I don't think Eddie would go here, but it made me go, huh. A guy who's won in this league, went to the Power 5, and during COVID lost his Power 5 job. What do you think of Rollo? Nick Rolovich, 44 years old. He's won in this league. It would be really interesting.
Doesn't have to worry anymore about what got him
fired. I mean, he got fired because he wasn't taking the vaccine.
Yeah. The list of names, what you put out there, those are what you're going to hear. And the Rocky Long one for me is super interesting. I think a lot of that is, people want him back, but then I just heard for the last 5 years about how he doesn't want to be a head coach.
Right. And look, things change. Yeah. Maybe I miss being a head coach. You're calling on it. I got texts on it. Let's talk about it a little bit. 505-246-0610. I don't know anything any more than y'all do. I'm just hearing a lot, and what we do is talk things out here. So that's what we'll do. Your thoughts on some of those names I just threw at you, and you can throw other ones. Rollo, when I heard yesterday, Rollo, I'm like, you know what? He might work in a place like this. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Sal? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers, underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-post.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Willer Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWillerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
It's the OD and the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
So a lot of chatter. That means you care a little bit about Lobo football and the coaching search. And I heard a lot of names yesterday. And Matt Wells, Bronco Mendenhall, Gary Patterson, those names, and all guys who were on the staff previously. Gary was the defensive coordinator under Dennis Franchione. Matt was here twice and before he was the head coach at Utah State and Texas Tech under Rocky Long. And, of course, Bronco, before he became the head coach at BYU, was the defensive coordinator under Rocky Long. So a lot of ties here. And then I just told you, I heard Rocky's name way more yesterday than I thought I would hear it from people who I think have credibility. Jeffrey just sent me a text, said, love Rocky, but he's a sentimental favorite. We have euphoric recall with him. Don't think he's the guy, though. A lot of these people chirping about Rocky were the same people who encouraged a change when we had him the first time. I think they suffer from seller's remorse. I think there's something to that. Look, you remember the day, the day after the damn fans press conference, and I came in here and I said, "You're going to rue this day." That whoever you are, and I'm not putting all of y'all in this conversation. That Rocky was run out of here. Well, Rocky quit. Rocky resigned, certainly under pressure and under circumstances. He was bowl eligible 7 years in a row, had a 4-8 season. 6 of those games that he lost were one possession, tough losses, and the Byron Bell call against BYU, all those things. And obviously he wasn't entitled to one down year at 4-8. And everybody, when are we going to the next level? This is what you were talking about, DC, yesterday, right? At what point do expectations go up? Well, expectations around here got to a point where this guy isn't good enough. And since 2008, how's it been, right? You had the 2 bowl seasons in 15 and 16. And how's it been? And so Rocky's name has come up a lot. And at 72 years old, does he want to do this again? And I don't know that he does or he doesn't. Rocky's in great shape. Loves it, loves coaching. Text line says, conspiracy theory. Rocky Long becomes the head coach. Danny Gonzalez is defensive coordinator and Vincent stays as OC. All right, there's your conspiracy theory. You thinking differently now than you did, 20 minutes ago or an hour ago or 2 days ago?
Not really. Okay. I think it's just a lot of nostalgia as opposed to anything concrete. When Eddie was asked multiple times about Rocky Long on Sunday, and I was just like, really?
I thought that came out of nowhere too. It wasn't in my mind.
That's where we're going right now, and it just makes me think of Bill Snyder at Kansas State. Sometimes you just keep going back to the well, and Bill Snyder did a really good job.
A lot of success there,
and maybe that's what you got to do. Is this is just going to be our coach until he really can't coach anymore.
Rudy, what thinks you? You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Rudy.
Good morning. The worst mistake that ever happened to UNM football, there's 2. One was when Pope Joy wouldn't go to platoon when everybody else did, and the second one was when Paul Krebs broke something that was already fixed and ran off Rocky Long. And anybody who thinks Rocky resigned, because no, there was true idiocy going on in that athletic department. And I will never forgive Paul Krebs for what he did. And if Rocky wants this job, Rocky should have the job. Rocky didn't get to finish. You know that new football stadium, Snapdragon?
Yeah.
That's the house that Rocky built.
Yeah, Rocky and J.D. Wicker, the athletic director there. Yeah.
Who could draw more NIL water than Rocky Long? He knows everybody in this town. Everybody.
Well, and throughout the state, and that's what I was saying to JJ, Rudy. Would people be more willing? And look, I was convinced a little of this yesterday, and I think the people who were saying this are right. If he's going to want to do this, he's going to want to do it with today's parameters. He's going to understand that NIL transfer portal, you've got to be active. And I think you're right in a large respect as far as fundraising. Does he want to go out and shake every hand? But the people with money, would they be more apt to get involved if somebody like that was there? Now, it's interesting. I just don't think it's going that way, but it's interesting.
Well, if it isn't and Eddie doesn't do that, Eddie's making a huge mistake. And so for the people that I've talked to, every time I've said, if Rocky could come back, would you take him? There's not one person that said no. So 505-925-5510 is Eddie's number. If you're a fan out there, I've talked to players. I've talked to players on the team now, and everybody's ears perk up because, look, this guy knows how to win at New Mexico. What did Bob Davies say? This place is quirky, unique, blah, blah, blah. Rocky knows all that. Why
so would he bring him? Would he come back in a capacity other than head coach and be able to do all those things?
Yeah, he could, but look, there's nobody more vital at 72 years old than Rocky Long. Age isn't the issue here. Physical condition isn't the issue here. Rocky coached at Oregon State, and so if this move is going to be to strip Rocky knows college football, and he can still recruit the Inland Empire. He's got a sterling reputation in California, doesn't he, Jeff?
Of course. He's got a sterling reputation everywhere, Rudy.
Yeah. So if he wants the job, and I believe that that's what's going on, then what we need to do is make our wishes known. And, yeah, you can hire a hotshot young guy, and if he wins, he's gone. There's only been basically two kind of coaches before Rocky, the ones that were so lousy that they got fired, and the ones that won enough games to get the hell out. And we don't need that. And that was a huge mistake. And when Rocky left, my heart sank. My heart sank. And everybody says, well, Rocky doesn't want to be a head coach. Have you talked to Rocky? Rocky will do this for UNM. Rocky will put up with the press for UNM. He won't do it for any other school. He's sitting right there. He's home in Albuquerque. You don't have to go anywhere.
Got it. All right, Rudy, and I appreciate you. Yeah, there's a lot of passion in that. Thank you. So Rudy's saying that's the guy. And let's go back to the future. I agree. It was a huge, and I said it then. In 2008, it was a mistake. In 2023, is he the right guy? Look, Rudy tells me flat out he wants to do it. A couple other people told me yesterday he wants. I haven't talked to Rocky, so I don't know that. I was a little surprised that he does. When he left San Diego State, he's like, he wanted a coach. He didn't want to be a head coach anymore. Right?
Well, that's what you've said, and that's what we've worked on over the last few years.
What he said, right? That's why he came here and became a defensive
something we made up.
Yeah.
When we talked to him, well, that's kind of the narrative over the last few years with Rocky, was that he was happy being a coordinator.
Yeah. Can you repeat the last name mentioned? Coach that didn't want to take a back seat. Who was that? I don't know. I don't know. Text line says, I think UNM should look at UNLV's Brendan Marion. I think a lot of people, and probably UNM, are looking at the offensive coordinator at UNLV. A lot of people. And hell, UNLV might look at him if they lose Barry Odom. Because Barry Odom's on every damn coaching list there is.
Coach of the year.
Yeah. Text line, Brent Vigen, the coach at Montana State, is good. It would be better to hire him than for him to bring Montana State into Albuquerque and beat the brakes off the Lobos in their opener. Well, I don't think that's why you hire him. But he's a name that I've heard a lot. A lot lately. Here's your, what did Rocky do here? Lobo Hobo just dug it out of his file and put resend again. Lobo Hobo, you got to help me on how losing to Portland State, like that defines him, because no coach has ever lost to, I mean, it wasn't a good day, don't get me wrong. But yeah, he lost to Portland State, that Jerry Glanville team. He lost to Portland State. His record was 65-69, played a boring offense, caused folks to quit going to the games in droves. On top of that, the program was on probation when he left. What's changed? The damn fans he called are still there. What's changed in 15 years? I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, I mean, everything's changed but your email. How about that? Everything except for the same damn email you sent me every day since, not every day, 5 times a year since then. I mean, what do you mean what's changed since 2008? Everything's changed. A lot's changed except for your email. Am I wrong? Maybe you're still wearing the same clothes. I don't know. A lot's changed. All right. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610.
I think the worry now is if you get this Rocky Long push and you have...
I don't know that you're going to, dude, but maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
you
you
think Rudy is a passionate fan.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of the older fan base that would jump on board with that.
Can I ask you something, though?
Yeah.
Would he make an impact, a significant impact in NIL and other,
Well, that's the point. I mean, I think there's a lot of the people who were around then, and even a lot of the guys who played for him are in town and in a position where they could help. Right? There's a lot of former Rocky Long players who are still in town. They're business people. They're making, they would help in NIL if they're not already. Yeah, that's right. No, that's right.
And that's kind of what JJ just brought up. Like, why haven't they been helping already? What is the roadblock that?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a really fair question. How many people that weren't on board with Danny would be on board with Rocky? That's a really fair question. Are there some older people that remember the days that didn't play, but haven't gotten on board, whether it's Southern Oil money, whether it's whatever it is, that would get on board? I don't know the answer.
The more I think about this, I'm thinking they need to look outside the box and find someone who is going to change the trajectory overall.
That's probably
find someone who can do some real fundraising.
Yeah, and I think that's where Eddie's thinking. I really do. I was surprised at the swell yesterday, and then what I'm hearing today on the Rocky thing, and again, maybe that does mean that he's out there saying that I want to do this.
And where I was going is, if you get, a certain portion of like that diehard core fan base that really starts to run with Rocky Long, and if they don't hire Rocky Long, are they going to be like,
well, I hope not.
This guy, I don't want to give him a chance.
Yeah, then you can't win. Yeah. Because there's going to be people on either side. Well, we're going back. I'm not supporting that. Yeah. 2 lines open. I'll get to them as soon as I got to take this break. So if you're there and if you can, please hold, because I do want to hear from you. 505-246-0610. Holidays are here. Take care of your car. That way you focus on your family, not deal with all the stuff that's going on throughout your car. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. By the way, it's a great gift. Like one of the best gifts I give. They detail your vehicle. They do it better than anybody else. They do it at your convenience. When, where it works for you, they come to you at your office. You're busy. They are too. You're inside. They're detailing your vehicle. When they're done, it looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. Brand new. They also offer window tint services for your vehicle. Get it done. I know it's grimy right now. Bad weather's not good to your car. They will protect it for you. 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859 or online at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Sal? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
Your surprisingly great race? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back and moved back. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oakey, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Mahad here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Oh, hey, Jeff. It's Jess on there. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey? Good to hear you.
Yeah, I had a call after Rudy. I mean, that's a perfect example of like the emotional response that Rocky brings, you know, to the area. It's we have this emotional attachment to Rocky, which is perfectly fine. But by the time anything would happen, if he were the coach, he would be 73 years old. And that's why I say I don't think he's the guy as far as coaching, but I think you bring him back in some capacity as an ambassador for the program or some kind of staff in the school to let him do what he does best, and that's relationship build. I think the Montana State head coach is really interesting. That guy is a proven winner. And how interesting would it be if we got Patterson, Mendenhall, and one or two other all new coaches in the Mountain West and kind of brought it all back home and see how that pans out?
Well, I don't know you're going to get the whole band back together, but I mean, I think it's possible you get somebody, one of them. I mean, I think, Bronco, all three of those guys, Bronco, Matt Wells, Gary Patterson, all have really good reputations. I don't know, and I spoke with somebody that's close to Gary over the weekend who said, this probably might not be the job for him, that he doesn't want to take over what's considered to be a rebuild. Now, would he consider that? I don't know. Matt Wells is really interesting to me, and I know he's getting a lot of attention. And Bronco's been super successful, right? Both at BYU and not super successful at Virginia, but in this part of the country. And so I think the guys with the ties tug at some strings, too, of times where it was good around here.
Yeah, and it's funny how so many of those successful head coaches have ties to this conference and these teams, and even the Lobos. I find that really interesting. But I'll circle back and say again that the Montana State head coach, I think, getting a younger guy in here with just like that kind of record. I mean, his record over there is
32-8. Yeah, 32-8.
Stellar, and that guy's a proven winner. So I'd be interested to see what someone like that could do with the program if we couldn't land somebody who's an established coach and at this level. But I appreciate the emotional attachment to Rocky. I just don't think he's the guy at 73 to come in and do this long term.
Yeah.
And maybe a young guy who's successful doesn't either because he'll get hired away. But I think we have to look a little forward and obviously try and bring Rocky in as an ambassador.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you. And look, that's okay too. By the way, if a young guy comes in and gets hired away, it makes you better. That's okay too. San Diego State just went young. 37-year-old offensive coordinator from Colorado. They just hired a coach or in the process of doing that. Lewis, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Lewis.
Hey, good morning. Hey, okay, so Rocky Long, is he? Has he really said he's interested in the job, or is that just speculation?
Yeah. Okay, so I haven't talked to him.
Right, I know you haven't, but has he? So, I know you know people.
Yeah,
you're as connected as anybody.
So people who I know told me that they've spoken with him and he said he's interested. So it's a he said thing to me. But people who I know that are relatively credible say, "Oh, I know he's interested. He's told me." Okay.
Okay. I love the guy. I'd love to see him come, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's the answer, though. I think when this thing first broke, my first thought was get a lower level, which I guess the Montana State guy would be, head coach, a successful head coach. I don't want a coordinator here. I don't want somebody that's got no experience. This job is tough, and I think you need a guy with head coaching experience and a guy who's been successful, whether it's a bowl championship or not bowl, but FCS coach. Or maybe a Division I coach, a bowl championship, whatever that word is, FBS guy, maybe who's had some success somewhere, that New Mexico would be a step up. That's what I think. I think Rocky is just not, people worry about a guy coming here having 2 or 3 years of success and then leaving, which I don't care about. If we have 2 or 3 years of success,
that's wonderful.
We'd be doing backflips.
Yeah.
But Rocky isn't going to coach that much longer. He might come for 2 or 3 years, maybe build it up a little bit, and then he's going to want to go. I don't see a guy coach until he's 80 years old.
No.
You know what I mean? So, he's going to be gone too. And then what do? Start over again? And I don't care about that start over stuff. Like I said, if we have 2 or 3 years of winning, really good football here, we'd be thrilled to death. Right. Now, remember one other thing, the fans. Remember what Rocky said, it's the damn fans.
Yep.
But remember how people wanted Craig Neal? They were dying for Krebs to hire Craig Neal. How'd that work out? People wanted Paul Weir when that kind of came up. And how did that work out? Not so good. So I think if you're Nunez, you listen to the fans a little bit, but you still make what's the best decision for.
And I think that's what he's going to do.
Sort of long term, maybe not 10 years down the road, but probably the next 5 years.
Yeah, 3 to 5.
A quick fix, a hot name, That's not the right decision. Eddie Nunez said many times, "I got to do what's right, not just what's fashionable and the hot take for the moment." And so, my thing would be it got to be an existing coach. I don't want any coordinator. I don't want him to be never been a coach. A successful coach somewhere that knows what he's doing.
All right, Lewis.
All right, thanks, man.
Great call. Thank you. I think Eddie's going to do what Eddie's going to do, right? He's not going to, will he listen to the fans? I mean, he'll hear them, right? It's hard not to hear them. Eddie's going to do what he believes is right. I got a bunch on this. This says, I would take Rocky back in a heartbeat. He just has that it factor to coach here. That's from Chris. This one said, the sad thing about this is if Nunez doesn't hire Rocky, he won't win the press conference with the new hire. In regards to NIL, why weren't they donating when Danny was coaching? He, Rocky, was the defensive coordinator. I think that's a fair point. I think that's a really fair point. This one says, Ken Dorsey, Deuce Staley are one of those offensive coordinators that got fired in the NFL. Okay, that's interesting. This one just says flat out no to Rocky. I'll tell you, if nothing else, it's generating a whole lot of response. This one says not a fan of bringing Rocky back. Probably the same folks that want the pit back to 18,000 seats. I would like to see someone younger and outgoing. The city needs some excitement. Tell you what, you bring back Rocky Long, I think there's some excitement right away. Now, is it the right thing? Look, I don't know. I'd love to talk to Rocky about it a little, and I'm sure Eddie will have that conversation if, in fact, Rocky's interested. Right? And now you're walking a fine line. JJ, I'd love to see Rocky involved in some way with this football program. I'm surprised there was this much on this today. Ron says Danny Gonzalez too. Jeff, you mentioned when Danny was hired, he sounded a lot like Rocky. That didn't work here. Folks going to buy into the original. To me, this sounds like Laker fan that still wants to bring back Phil Jackson. At some point, it's time to move on from the past. I did think, by the way, Danny did sound like Rocky. Doesn't he? I mean, his cadence, the way he talked, I loved it. He sounded a lot like Rocky.
Yeah, this is the challenge. I think it's okay when your fans get excited about something. Rocky Long is one of the few coaches that was able to have consistent success in getting to bowl games, getting bowl eligible over an extended period of time is what you're looking for. I know Eddie has come out and said that they're shooting for higher, and that's what you do. You say, all right, this is what we need to try to get to that mountain, to try to get that fifth conference championship. But there's also understanding of who you are. And I think the reality of the situation is the Lobos, if they can be a bowl eligible team multiple years in a row, that's a huge step forward because they haven't done that in a while. As you said, you look at the 2 years that Bob Davie had, and that was that stretch over it's been 15 years.
Mm-hmm. It was 15 and 16
bowl eligible years.
Yeah, I know. Jim says if you hire Rocky, Vincent is the coach in waiting because he would have had the UAB job. But UAB chose PR move with Dilfer out of the high school ranks. Vincent's the best coach to walk Lobo sideline since Rocky. I'll tell you what, he's a heck of a coach. I don't know how you're keeping him as your offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I'm going to assume
it doesn't work out, man. Coach in waiting.
I got one place at work.
San Diego State in basketball. Right? Brian Dutcher.
Yeah. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Edward.
Oh, hey, sorry. I got a call. Jeff, let me call you right back. I got a call from work. I apologize.
He just hung up on you.
No, I hung up. I pushed the button first. Just for the record, I pushed the button.
Excuse me. I got to take this call.
Jeff, I'm going to have to call you back.
Will you keep that as a drop, please? Wait. He called me, right? He called our radio show. He sat on hold. Then I went to him and was like, right, twice?
Twice, yeah.
Right.
He had another call. He was waiting online for like 15
He's a
minutes.
very busy, important man. Very important, busy man. I've been doing this a long time. I don't know that that's ever. Hey, I'll call you right back.
You back.
You called me, right? All All right, 505-246-0610.
Best Edward call of the year, right?
It's probably the best one ever. If you want to get in on this and the coaching search, again, the two names I heard the most popping that got hot yesterday was Brent Vigen, the Montana State coach, and Rocky got super hot yesterday. Look, there's a lot of asking. What about Matt Wells? What about Gary Patterson? What about Bronco? What about? But yesterday, and look, a good buddy of mine called me. Like I got nothing else to do, and I took the call, and it was like 20 minutes later. I'm like, dude, I'm literally. It's bull season. Like I got 17 days, and he's just going on, and finally he's like, all right, well, hey, I gotta go pick up the kids. I'm like, dude, he might be listening. I mean, I appreciate the call, and I had the good conversation. I was like, whoa. I got a bunch. I'll take the phone calls. Who tell me it's not him. No, I got to take this break now. 505-246. Let me call you right back. Hey, you guys, hold on. I'll call you right back right after these commercials. I want to also get in on the thoughts on the Mountain West agreement or pending agreement with the two-pack with Oregon State and Washington State on the scheduling and what that's going to mean next year. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Hey, I'll call you right back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove her off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back and moved there. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Hokie, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
20 minutes later.
That was funny. No, I don't want. Or this is now. I want to do that to Jim Rome.
I know.
All right, 505-246-0610. That's the text line. You guys are lighting this up. I got 2 pages of text today already going through. This one says Rocky was just here with Danny, and it was a disaster. Okay. There's been a lot of chatter this morning on coaches and Rocky Long and who is it. And should I try this again, dude? Or did he use up his one call for the week already? I mean, he kind of did, right? He was on the air. I mean, what do I'm a little nervous. All right, Edward, you're on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Edward.
Good morning, gentlemen. What an honor to be on this award-winning show. Hey, that little segment should echo an eternity for this show, and I hope it does. Hey, just like sorry, Jeff. Just like my buddy Jeffrey who texted. I miss Jeffrey. He's such an iconic, brilliant guy. I also have euphoric recall from this weekend in Austin. By the way, when I was out, I'm a loyal listener. I listened to you while I was in Austin, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on the firing of the UNM coach. I'm going to give you a statement. I'm going to give you a statement that has 2 truths. I think that Gonzalez has a good name in the football community. I think he's had a lot of success. I think he's a nice guy that is very likable, and he's a sharp guy. And I'm rooting for him, and I think he's going to land on his feet very quickly. Right. But make no mistake, guys. His tenure here was essentially an unmitigated disaster. The program regressed substantially, and it's not to knock anybody. He got 4 years. He didn't get 18 games. He didn't get a year and a half. He got 4 years, presidential election tenure, and there was times this year where it was abysmal. And they had a couple of wins late in the year, which was good, but it was abysmal, and it was time. And I wish him good luck. And whoever they hire, just make sure that they can fundamentally run a program and facilitate as needed as a leader. we all have we have great friends that we all love. We have family members, and we invite them into our home. It doesn't mean I want them to run my business. So there's that. Quickly on the NCAA football, Texas got jobbed. Outside of Michigan beating Ohio State, they had the singular best win this year against Alabama. And I don't know if they're going to squeak in. I've been telling you for over a month, Jeff, that Washington is this year's TCU. I think they're squeaking by 6-win teams with penalties and multiple turnovers. I think that they're going to get handled this weekend soundly by Oregon.
I think that's right.
And the playoff essentially starts this weekend. I liken it to the NCAA basketball when they play conference championship week. That's when the NCAA tournament starts. If you win, you advance and you survive and you go forward. And that's what this weekend is for, the Pac-12 and, some of the SEC. So if you win, you continue. So it essentially is a playoff. I also think that Georgia, we were watching that Auburn game. I was so hard rooting for Auburn for coming off the New Mexico State loss. And I told my son, that kid's going to muff the punt. He's going to fumble the punt. And sure as heck, he fumbled the punt. The game changed, and Alabama survived. And I don't know. It's just, good things happen to teams that, prepare, and that just kind of fell apart on them. But anyway, I appreciate you taking my call. Somebody's got to work and pay taxes and support coaches firing and stadiums that to be built. So I'll take part in my joy in my part in the local tax base. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for letting me share my thoughts, and I enjoyed the call.
Thanks. All right, let me get a couple of things. Unmitigated disaster and abysmal. And they're nice multi-syllabic SAT words, and I appreciate the vocabulary. I'm not going to call Danny. I can't. I can't sit here, JJ, as much as I like Danny. I don't think that he would say his tenure was a success, right? He didn't get what he wanted done. He didn't get to a bowl game. He didn't win a championship. So I can't call it a success. Is it all right if I disagree with unmitigated disaster and abysmal?
It wasn't a disaster. It was not a disaster. Disaster would be came in and got in trouble. And he had a bunch of players getting in trouble. And the program is at a point where, like, man, we got a lot to clean up before we even think about football. They didn't win. It wasn't a good tenure if you look at 11 wins over 4 years. It wasn't an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, I've seen unmitigated disasters around here, right? I've seen unmitigated disasters around here. I think you have too. They didn't win. And so it wasn't a success. But I'm struggling with unmitigated disaster. The program, the culture was right. It got better. You didn't have players in trouble. You're not on probation. You didn't have scandals. They didn't win. There were times, and certainly in the previous years, and not at the end here, but in previous years, where there was some abysmal football. I'll give you that. There was some abysmal football. But to me,
the ending of Loxley was disastrous. Davey, the things he went through would be more like when you have the headlines that the players are in. Regardless of what was happening, it was a lot. Like those things were happening. They just did not win the last 4 years.
I just, to me, unmitigated disaster and abysmal, I think it wasn't a success. But man, I've seen way worse and programs in way worse places than what this place is in now. Vince, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey, good morning, fellas. I have to agree with you, Jeff. I don't think it was an unmitigated disaster. I thought there were some positive things. He didn't get enough wins. That's obvious. And I kind of liken his termination to that of Dana Dimmel. Jerry Kill at UTEP. Jerry Kill, he's moved the needle. And, little brother now is 2 bowl years in a row, 10-win season. The athletic departments at both UNM and UTEP, they just, they both got killed by New Mexico State today. They just have to look around and say, you know what? If they're making it happen, we're going to have to make it happen. And I sure wish that Danny would have got one more year. I thought his attitude was infectious. And one thing you have to say, he ran a clean program. So did Dana Dimel for that much, but they just didn't get enough wins. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And I think just the success in New Mexico State, that forced the hand with the administration stuff. So good luck on UNM search. Best of luck to them, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you, Vince.
I really did like it.
No,
good guy.
Appreciate you. It's a really good call. I'm not going to tell you I think Jerry Kill was the final straw, but I do believe what's going on at New Mexico State factored into it. And I know it factors into a lot of fans. Why can they do it down there? They got worse facilities than us. They've got less than us. Why? And UTEP's feeling the same way. They're looking up the road, and this was supposed to be a big year for UTEP. Dana had his whole offensive line coming back. He had a fifth-year starter coming back in Hardison, who got hurt. They had a lot of injuries, and a lot of the same things happened with Dana. Another really good dude. Really good guy.
Well, we saw why. Because New Mexico State had the best of the three coaches.
He's done a hell of a job, man. I talked to a number of coaches yesterday about whether it was bowl stuff. People have been calling me, what tell me about the coaching situation there. And everyone I talk to right now is like, how about that job Jerry Kill's doing? Like I can show you the texts. It's and I can't show you the conversations, but it was like coaches are looking at that just going, wow, because that was a place that people flat out thought you could not win. You just couldn't. It hadn't been done there in 50, 60 years. And look, Hal Mumme was a good coach, right? I looked down. I mean, Doug, I don't think was a bad coach. I don't think Dwayne Walker was a bad coach. They just couldn't get it done there. Nobody had until what's happened the last 2 years.
Yeah, most of the time, these coaches that get fired aren't bad coaches.
That's right.
It's just you look at the overall situations. It's like even the coaches we're talking in the NFL. There's some guys and that are just in over their head, and sometimes that does happen in college football. But there's so many other factors that go into it to do this job at a high level when it comes to Division I football.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, I do want to get into this the scheduling arrangement that it appears the Mountain West is entering into with the 2-pack, with the two schools that are remaining in the Mountain West. What that means, what it may look like for you, and your teams next year, and it's because schedules are going to come out here relatively soon, and what it could mean long term. If you want to still get in on the coaching stuff, you're welcome to do that. The number is 505-246-0610, phone line and the text line here on the Sports Animal. You can get me on email, jeff@sportsanimallabq.com. Find JJ. He's at jj@sportsanimallabq.com. We are on the visual medium, Comcast Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico. Our Facebook page, the OD in the AM, has us live every morning. Adrian produces for ProView Networks. We're on ProView Networks' YouTube channel as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
This report. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove her off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Scout? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated,
Rip, plaster,
destroyed, bruh. You're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How would I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Sports Animal.
All right, a little scheduling alliance is what they're calling this moving forward. A scheduling agreement. Oregon State, Washington State, the Tupac, or the Tupac. That's what's remaining of the Pac-12. And the Mountain West are closing in, according to a lot of reports, on a scheduling agreement. A one-year agreement, could extend to 2 for next year. It's a 7+1 format that's being proposed. What does that mean? It would feature Mountain West schools would play 7 games against Mountain West Conference opponents, and then 1 game against either Oregon State or Washington State. Might be home, might be away. It would generate 12 additional games for the Tupac. In exchange, the Mountain West will get $14 million to spread amongst their schools. It would only be for 2024. although there is a 1+1 being discussed, meaning both sides could exercise an option to continue the model in 2025. Now, remember, Oregon State and Washington State, if they went the extra year, it would be $28 million that those two schools would pay the Mountain West for that scheduling agreement. Those two schools have 2 years, JJ, to get their conference up to eight teams. So they're going to stay together as a 2-team league for 2 years, and then there's talk of a merger, what it means going forward. That's when everything could break up or come together. You like this? You okay with it? You're certainly throwing them a bone. They're throwing you some money.
Yeah, I do like it. It's a situation where the Mountain West, I like them being aggressive, thinking outside the box, trying to align themselves with those two schools. There's a couple things, too, at the end where there would be potential, like harsher penalties, but they just try to get the top to go away. And what you hope is that this just becomes a merger. And whatever banner they want to fly, it's fantastic. But the teams, really right now at the bottom of the Mountain West Conference, you still have to be nervous. You just do.
All right, what do I have on time? Do I have time? I've got 2 lines open. I don't. All right, so I'm going to ask if you're there. We've got to hit this top of the hour break. And so I'm going to ask if you're there. I'll get to you right when we get back from the break. I know you guys want to continue to talk about the coaching situation, college football. If you want to get in on the scheduling, you can do that. I got tickets to give away and qualify people for the All in Autographs, gift cards, and mystery boxes. We got little basketball tickets to give away. We're going to do that at 9:25 today. 9:25 is when we're going to give away those tickets and qualify people. 505-246-0610. Got to take this break. Want to hear what you have to say. We'll continue the coaching conversation. And I want to get a little bit more into the scheduling agreement with the 2-pack of the Mountain West. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, DC on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, stop, ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Rosendo Mahad here, President of Carpenters Local 1319. Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does. The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs.
Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
All right, a whole lot going today. We got Lobo women's hoop last night. They beat Eastern Illinois. Lobo men tonight. Louisiana Tech's in the pit. It's over on News Radio KKOB. Probably no Mashburn, maybe House tonight. We'll see as Lobos get back to the pit, and then the Aggies are in on Saturday. So if you want to get on that, you can. A lot of talk about Lobo football. You know what I've learned? People do care. With the response we've gotten over the last 3 days, the shows, the response I've gotten everywhere I go, and people calling me like literally just to talk about it. People care. We got pages of text. The emails are crazy. So let's go, man. Let's keep it going. And I know you've been holding on the phones. You got opinions. 505-246-0610. Jerry, thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, guys. The Rocky Long thing, I think there's a lot of holes in that argument. But if I heard Rocky Long come on TV or somewhere, and no offense to your friends that said he was interested, I would have to hear it from his mouth. And here's why. Yeah. He quit San Diego State because he was tired of the administrative hassles of head coaching. Isn't that an accurate statement?
Well, I think he was just tired of – he didn't want to be a head coach. I think he wanted to coach and he didn't love being a head coach. He wanted to coach.
Yeah. So he came here to help out Danny. Yeah. As a defensive coordinator, so he just had to coach. Probably didn't have to recruit, probably didn't have to do anything but coach. And that, to me, is what Rocky Long's strong suit has always been, coaching. He's a great coach. The administrative part of it, I don't think he ever liked to hear. I never heard that he was a strong recruiter. But, the emotional aspect of this, it kind of reminds me are we trying to, just like Nebraska has been, it's been Tom Osborne for how long? Ever since he's been gone. They want to bring in one of their boys, blah, 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 and they get rid of him in 2 or 3 years. I mean, the Snyder deal at Kansas State is truly the exception to bringing somebody back, and it worked out great for them. But to me, the guy, the profile that I like is the Montana State guy that's got some experience. It's young enough to get going out here. I don't know the guy personally, but that's the profile that I would like to see come back. And if they could get Rocky Long to come back as a defensive coordinator, whoa, that'd be great. But I just don't think he's the right guy at this time for that job, unless I hear it from his.
All right, so Jerry, if you hear it from his mouth, what's it going to have to be? Like, what do you need to hear from him to convince you? Or
that I want to do this, and I'm willing to do it, and I'm willing to do the whole job. Yeah. Now, I know he's still got to have somebody that's strong on that administrative side, because he's not. And at his age, I understand.
I don't know that he's not.
He's been there.
Yeah, I don't know that he's not. I wonder, does he want to embrace all that again? And maybe he does. I don't know.
Why would he? I just don't understand why he would. But
fair enough. All right, Jerry, appreciate the call. That was really good.
You bet.
And it's great to hear all these new voices, by the way. And look, if you haven't called us before and you've listened, and you're welcome, man. It's easy. It's like talking to, one of your buddies. We're easy. Until you say, hold on, let me call you back. It's like, hey, you're on the Sports Animal, and then it sounds like this.
Oh, hey, sorry, I got a call. Jeff, let me call you right back.
Sure. I'll be here. I'll be waiting for your call. Adolph, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Adolph?
Well, fellas, I'm still a little bit perplexed, and I'm hard of hearing now. I just turned 71 yesterday.
Happy birthday!
And I didn't thank you. I didn't have my hearing aids in when the interview was occurring with Eddie Nunez a couple of days ago. But I tried my best to hear what he was saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he say that, in his opinion, the team was close to essentially turning the corner.
Yeah, he felt that they were in a good place. He said, I think he said at one point, Danny did a great job of getting us here, and he said we're close.
Okay, yeah. I wrote that down. Close to essentially turning the corner. Okay, then that begs the question. Then why was Gonzalez fired? If by Nunez's own admission, the program was close to turning the corner. I did not hear that question asked of Nunez, and so that stuck in my mind because it's like, well, that's something that needs to be addressed. Why do you fire the guy when, by your own admission,
you're close? You
say that he brought the program close to turning, to making headway and turning the thing around. The other thing that is somewhat perplexing, I did some little research here. New Mexico, the football program, the last 7 coaches, 7, and I'm going back, over 40 years, have had losing records. Rocky had the best record at 65 and 69. But to me, and I'm thinking of all those athletic directors, from John Bridgers, Rudy Davalos, Paul Krebs, Eddie Nunez, and I'm thinking to myself, isn't this kind of a leadership problem in that athletic department when you have that kind of losing for so long, for decades? So anyway, thanks for allowing me to make my statements. I'm out.
All right. No, it's interesting. And we did kind of go into that, right, the other day when Eddie said, hey, we're really close, or he said, he said, we're not that far away, or we're close. I know he said all that. It was interesting, right? If you're close, why? But he laid out all the other stuff, why he made the move.
And things did change a little bit too, in my opinion, because I did not know about
the contract,
the extra years.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I know a lot of people are reporting that next year was the last year on Danny's contract, and we do have it confirmed that there was a 2-year extension coming out of COVID that it ran through, I believe, December 2026 through the end of. So there were 3 years left. So it wouldn't be going into a lame duck year, as so many thought. And I know that's what you thought coming in on Monday morning, right? And there was an extension on that. Next year was not the last year of his deal. From what I understand, the buyout was $900,000 and was negotiated down. Danny took less money to leave, right? I mean, he could have fought for the full buyout. So that factor I don't think was there. But that's a fair question. When he said, we're close, then why? And the answer was in all the rest of the other answers on why, when Eddie spoke for the other half hour.
Yeah, and I think the one thing about what Eddie was discussing in terms of the transfer portal, NIL, they did a really good job in the transfer portal on the offensive end. Now, it wasn't necessarily D1 to D1. The Alabama State kids changed the program.
No doubt.
Offensive, Corey Krosky Merritt, Jeremiah Hickson, what he did.
Tito Stafford
going in the offensive line. But
I mean, he was a piece, yeah.
CJ James and Davis are going to be the ones that, if they're gone, that's going to really hurt.
And you say if they're gone because they're in the portal, they could stay. Yeah.
But there was a lot. Eddie kept going back to that transfer portal and NIL because that's where we are. And multiple people have said it, and that's kind of my thought is, if you're going to Rocky Long and say, oh, he can cultivate this or that, Rocky was here with Danny when that stuff was start team. Mm-hmm. Why couldn't they cultivate? Why weren't people on board with Danny? But all of a sudden, that's Rocky's going to come back now and then be like, oh, here's my investment into an NIL fund.
Yeah. Mattson on Gonzalez and the new coach. Good morning. Glad to see Edward hitting the holiday eggnog already. The program regressed, ? Not sure what he was watching. I guess we'll agree to disagree. Whatever your sentiment is on Gonzalez's dismissal seems pretty 50-50. This is where we are. As far as Rocky or any of these other names being floated about, the thing I hope for and keep reminding myself is I hope people get behind whoever the new guy is, even if it's not who you wanted. We need to trust Eddie in the process and not be divided before the new leadership ever has a chance. There's not enough fans in the stands to divide in half as it is. It's such a different landscape. I almost don't know who I feel the right person is. If it ends up being Rocky, that'd be awesome. I also think he is savvy enough to surround himself with people who can get on the portal and NIL. I do wonder if Rocky would retain Vincent. That could factor into Eddie's decision as well. If it's not him, then I'll be supportive and hopeful for the future of the program and have faith in Eddie's choice. And to JJ, your response to the emailer yesterday, quote, "You're not breaking any news here, dude," end quote, just had me rolling. Love the fire, love the show, happy holidays. It's from Matt. Yeah, you had a day yesterday, dude. JJ got a little fired up yesterday towards the end of it. There was a great line.
Fire in the belly.
You're not breaking any news here, dude. It was really good. It was really good. All right, keep them coming. 505-246-0610. John said, I like Edward's first call much better. Let us know when he's finished so we can unmute the speaker. Fair enough. Dan says 269 days until Juan Jose and Edward Abraham James. Jeffrey and Dwayne Cook. How much of this was Nunez needing to move quickly with the shortest offseason ever? With 2 contests before the calendar turns to September, global football is going to have to be like a boxer. They're going to have to get hot backstage because they aren't going to have time once they enter the ring. What makes this offseason shorter than any other?
Playing a 0 weekend next year?
Okay, so we got one less week. I mean,
it's the time of year this stuff happens.
The season ended, and I mean, it happened all over the country, dude. I mean, it happened at UTEP, and it happened in Indiana, and it happened, I mean, look all over the country. That's where it happened. Mike says, sure hope you're wrong, Jeff Alou. Since Daniel Ray Gonzalez's contract is public, if he did get an extension, it's a massive amount of egg on the face of lazy local media for not exposing that, as every report I've seen in the last 96 hours says his deal expires 12/31/24. I hope someone's putting in a public records request for clarification. I asked for clarification on it, and I got confirmation. That's all. I mean, I'm pretty confident. I showed you the source, and I showed you who confirmed it, right? I mean, that would be 100%, wouldn't it? So yeah, I'm pretty convinced of that. All right, 505-246-0610. All of that's on the table for you. It's all right there. There is some NFL stuff. One of your Broncos gets to meet with the commissioner. It's never good when you're going to meet with the commissioner during the season. What will be the subject? That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
The Gym.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. You're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place hot! Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet! Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find the booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At the Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Now, when you get called to the principal's office, it's probably not all that good, right? Did you ever get called in the principal's office in school? I mean, at any level, did you ever get called in? That's all right. I won't judge you all these years later. I did.
They were aware of me.
Yeah, they knew me.
You're on the watch list.
They knew my parents. Yeah. It's never good. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is going to meet with Kareem Jackson of the Broncos. The Broncos safety is flying to New York. He'll meet with the boss to get more clarity about his latest suspension and the way the league enforces its player safety rules. This is not going to be good. Kareem Jackson's been suspended how many times?
2 this year.
Quote from the player, for me, I see a lot of the same things happening around the league where guys aren't going through what I'm going through. No flags, no fines, no suspensions. Is that right? I'm not really sure why I'm being treated the way I'm being treated. I'm making regular football plays. Nothing malicious in my opinion. I just want to know why I'm the only person going through what I'm going through. Is he the only person going through what he's going through? So he's going to go meet with the boss and say, why me?
What's the deal?
What did I do, Draymond?
You become a repeat offender.
Draymond, what did I do?
And you are treated differently when it's your second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever it may be incident. And the hit on Joshua Dobbs outside the pocket, I can understand some of the frustration. Like it's a runner. It's not a quarterback anymore. You're a runner at that point in time. But it still can't lead with the helmet. And Kareem Jackson still does a lot of that stuff.
Why me, man? Why me? How are you guys? I mean, you're Bronco fans and he's your guy. Is he? I don't know. Do you feel he's getting treated any different?
Is Billy the guy when he hasn't played half the season?
Hold on, let me call you back, Jeff.
I don't know. JJ, you're right. I mean, he's missed 6 games. Is he really the guy? I'm not totally sure. 14th year in the league, he should know better. That's my opinion. Almost 90,000 in illegal hits this year, in fines, that is. So
What do you think of the swell of conversation? And now it's easy to say when you're not the quarterback taking hits anymore. But we've seen how with Tom Brady taking shots of how soft quarterbacks have become.
We had this conversation last week when you were in Cancun. And literally I came back into a segment, with the back of the eye was the kid. Yeah. The problem with kids today is they're too damn young. Right? He's a year out of this. And he's taking shots at how soft today's players are.
He wasn't saying that when he was in the NFL.
And a dude who was insanely protected by the rules. And a year later, everybody's soft? I was stunned that he came out with that opinion. Weren't you?
I was too.
It was like
Aaron Rodgers has been on that train a little bit as well.
I haven't heard what Aaron Rodgers said.
Along those lines, if you take the physicality out of the game for the quarterbacks, it's going to change everything. Well, they've done that.
Yeah, wow. All right, you can get in on any of this stuff. 505-246-0610. Locally, Lobos and Louisiana Tech tonight. Ladies last night in overtime beat Eastern Illinois 81-78. James is in on the schedule. JJ, he wants to talk about him. He says with a 210 RPI, does RPI matter anymore? They're in trouble. Their schedule's been putrid. A lot of these clubs, Bradbury was counting on to let them down. Strength of schedule is 288. Pepperdine hadn't won a game since the opener. Eastern Illinois is 333 and just took them to overtime. I mean, we're already at the point it's 3 days in Vegas, right?
That's the way it was going to be entire season. They didn't build the schedule to have a good non-conference schedule this year because they knew their team wasn't what it was the last few years.
Yeah, I think it's not December yet. I think if they're getting to the tournament, it's 3 days in Vegas.
Yes, it is.
Or 4. Top 5 get buys? Yeah.
3 or 4 days in Vegas.
Yeah, that's what it is. Hondo's in on football. Roster and staff stabilization. Jeff, the roster and staff stabilization is high on Hondo's coaching wish list. Well, I fully expect global football roster and staff to be rebuilt from scratch next season. In 12 months from now, I think it's important that both are stabilized and we aren't hearing about guys in the transfer portal. It's the only way global football is going to get this thing turned around. Hondo, I promise you 12 months from now, you're going to hear about guys in the transfer portal. Just like Missouri is and Alabama is and Colorado is and USC is and every program in America is. And you are going to get guys in from the transfer portal that are going to help you. And you're going to lose guys that some you're like, yeah, whatever. And some that are going to turn you around pretty quickly. I mean, I just don't know. I think
there's never not going to be guys from whatever team you root for in the transfer portal. It's always going to happen.
Yeah. I just think Hondo, with all due respect, stability is now here. And I had this conversation with somebody yesterday and they didn't understand this. You get one free transfer before you're a graduate. So if you transfer from Mississippi State to New Mexico as a freshman or a sophomore, you don't get to a free transfer. And now you can leave, but you've got to sit out a year before you play. Now, if you've graduated, you can then transfer again as a graduate transfer.
Yes.
One thing I wasn't clear on, maybe you are. If you transfer from an FCS to an FBS, Alabama State to New Mexico, does that count as your one free transfer? Or does it have to be FBS to FBS? Because I don't know the answer to that.
I would need official clarity on that as well.
Yeah, that one I don't know the answer to. Because everybody was asking about Bill.
Yeah.
Is Ja'Cory Crosskey-Merritt, is he gone? Now, he might have graduated. He might be a graduate that might be able to leave. But I don't know I was looking for it yesterday, I couldn't find it. So that's something that's interesting. Because, Bill's a big concern around here. Is Ja'Cory Crosskey-Merritt, second team yesterday, all conference. And you could have made an argument he was first team.
Yeah, he was. That was, I think, a little record-wise in the voting because I think he was better than Robinson at San Jose State.
Kyrie Robinson was really good.
Kyrie Robinson was really good.
He had a really good season, and they tied for first place in their league. So, all right, you want to give some stuff away? All right, 505-246-0610 is the number. Here's what we're doing. We're giving away 2 tickets to Louisville women's basketball versus Boise State. That's a January 6th game. You'll qualify for a chance to win a mystery box from All In Autographs and qualify for a chance to win on our live show on December 9th a mystery box and gift cards, $50, $100, or $250 from All In Autographs. Caller number 4 right now at 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Caller 4 wins it from the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Sal? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers, underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Willer Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswillerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I got a text from Ralph on the on the scheduling alliance. Love the scheduling agreement. And that's from an Aztec guy. So he says SDSU can't move until 2025, top tier Mountain West with Washington State and Oregon State, and then grab a few Texas schools. See, that's the San Diego State thing. They just want, let's take our time, and then we'll go with Oregon State, Washington State, and peel the top of the league. And that's where people are nervous about this, JJ. With the scheduling alliance, Mountain West and the 2-pack, Oregon State and Washington State, going forward next year. So you will play as the Lobos, as Boise State, as Colorado State. Each current Mountain West team will play 7 league games, and then we'll play Washington State or Oregon State. One home, one away, whatever. Right? You half the teams will get a home game, half will get a road game. It'll be interesting, but I think that's what a lot of fans are thinking. Well, 2025 we can leave this and leave the New Mexicos behind, and that's what scares people around here, and that's why JJ is such a big hire in a big couple of years for New Mexico football.
Yes, it is. You have to show some consistency. You have to show something to where people don't want to leave you behind.
Yeah. All right. Text line. Why lament over fired coaches at UNM when buyouts are involved? I'm not even sure what that means. Buyouts will always be involved, man. Buyouts, if you fire a coach and there's time left on a contract.
Well, I think what I'm going to assume what that means is they're getting money to go away, so they're fine. So why are we talking about how they feel or whatnot?
Yeah.
Or who feels what about that?
All right. This says Rocky's head coach with his successor on staff might work. You're never a fan of that, right? You say that.
No, it never worked. There's one.
Yeah. You got something. What do you got?
I do have something, and I'm glad we waited. JJ, do you remember Jerry Roseberg?
No.
He took over for Hackett when Hackett got fired for the Broncos. He has a lot of success as a coach, long-term coach, but what he has, most importantly, is a daughter that's a coach. Now, we talk about money. We talk about things that the school needs. If you are the first at something, it could be very impactful for your bottom line. So Jerry Roseberg's daughter is named Megan Roseberg. She's currently the assistant coach for the Baltimore Ravens. She's been that for 2 years. She assists Coach Harbaugh in all areas, including football operations, scheduling, communications, and staff management. I truly believe if you went out and you got a female head coach, especially one with a background in the NFL, that's a game changer. Straight up, you'll make more money probably in 24 hours than you did in the last 4 years. I mean, you want to make a mark, that would be it.
Any college experience at all? Recruiting? Any NIL? Any transfer portal? Any recruiting experience at all?
So yes, she was an athlete in 2014. She was captain of her volleyball team. She went on to help them coaching and otherwise. Obviously, it's not football, but it is leading in that way. So I find her to be a very interesting possible candidate. And who knows, she might not be looking, but really going outside the box is something I would strongly recommend.
I actually don't think that you need to be, I need to have connections in high schools and this, that, because NIL is essentially free agents, and that's what you do in pro sports. Just handle free agents.
Yeah.
And so I think that could actually work a lot better than it has in the past.
Is this the time for this place to make a move like that?
Yes. The coaching position is open right now. Why wait?
Well, I understand it's open right now. You need to win now. I mean, that's an experiment. That's a person who's never been a head coach, who's never coached at this level, who, from what I gather from what you're saying, doesn't have a lot of affinity to the region, hasn't recruited. I mean, that's an experiment. That's the
kind of experiment that could get new facilities.
It could, or it could blow up in your face. I mean, it's a high risk, high reward, right? It could blow up in your face. And is this a time that you can take a risk like that, where you, with the realignment, with where it is, and you can say, well, the program's down, why not? You can't get any lower. You can get lower. You've been lower, like you have. Is this the time to take a risk like that? And I know nothing of, what's her name?
Megan Roseberg.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Megan Roseberg. I don't. She may be the best coach. I don't know. Is this the time to say, all right, because, you win the press conference, you get a lot of headlines. Remember when Mike Locksley got hired, he was like one of 3 African American coaches. Is that right? And he was doing all the national shows as one of the very few African American coaches. So yeah, you win the press conference. You get national headlines. You get a lot of attention on your program. But she's got to be the right coach. What makes her the right coach other than she would be the first woman FBS coach? What makes her the right coach?
I think she's the right coach because she can bring in the money that is not there. So it's a fundraising
So
thing.
tell me why. Tell me why she would bring in the money that's not there. Because she's a woman?
I mean, not the only reason, but that's a big reason.
So you're a Lobos supporter. You've been around your business in this community, and you've been reluctant to give or give at a higher level. Why does that make you want? I'm not telling you you're wrong. But I'm not convinced you're right either. Why does that make me want to give you more money?
Well, the fact is, local people, they're either giving or not giving. So this really doesn't have to do with the local fundraising. It's getting an organization to write that $10 million check. It's a national organization. It's Condoleezza Rice, who's, an owner of the Broncos, is connected with Roseburg. There's money out there that she could
So
bring
you
in.
think a woman-owned national business would say, I'm behind them, I'm
100%,
getting in, here's $10 million.
Absolutely.
And I, have heard stories of companies that are just because they want to be involved in athletics. They're like, oh, what NIL can I donate to?
Yes, absolutely. Have the first female coach, you're going to get those checks.
Okay.
I like the idea. That's what you need to do.
Well, it's different. It's a high risk, high reward because you can get checks and then you got to win, dude. Right? And I'm not telling you she can't. I don't know. I'm not. Look, you've gone a lot of different routes. You've gone young coordinator route. You didn't win. You've gone veteran route. You had 2 years of winning, didn't win consistently. Before that, you went young coordinator route, right? I mean, you go back and forth. And that's kind of like San Diego State just kind of went from veteran to young coordinator, right? If something doesn't work, you kind of go the other way. This is a total other way, thinking out of the box. I would not hire her simply because she's first. I would not.
I agree with that. I mean, you have to get through the interview process. You have to prove that you are capable of holding this position. So if that was the only reason, I agree with that. It can't just be for that reason alone.
Is she interested in it? I mean, is that why did you think of the name? Where did it come from?
It started with a search to see who the most successful female coaches out there were in college and pro. Because I keep hearing the same theme.
So you just went female. So your mind was up for the first.
Well, no, my mind was thinking out of the box.
All right. So let's take it a step further. What makes her better than? Go down your list. Rocky Long, Bronco Mendenhall.
Fundraising.
Okay. I'm not as convinced as you are, but I can be convinced that all of a sudden national companies are going to pour money into the University of New Mexico. But I'm not convinced.
All it takes is it's one check.
One check, exactly.
One giant check, and all of a sudden you have an NIL fund.
And a $10 million check from Coke it's a drop in the bucket.
And then you go and you hire an experienced staff that's recruited. That's
absolutely
okay.
I mean, because we've talked about how anymore the coach is the CEO. I mean, if she hires a great staff and handles her business, it could be the greatest move of all time.
All right, he just threw something at you, boys and girls. What do you think? 505-246.
I really like. The wheels are turning.
Are they? So tell me what you're thinking.
Well, that's what you need to be doing in these situations. Is so much has changed, and it's a Deion Sanders type hire where you're going to just get that immediate impact, and that's what you're looking for too, is because Eddie Nunez, the athletic director at the University of Mexico, said it multiple times. One of the keys in this, it's not just number one would be get best football coach available. Got it. But to be a good football coach, you have to win the transfer portal, and you have to be able to show athletes, hey, you come here, this is what you can get. And so that's number two now. It's not, I'm connected in Florida with all these high school coaches, or I'm connected here. Like, that stuff's out the window. It's nice to have, but that does not matter like it did 4 years ago.
I hadn't thought there, and just because I don't know much about her. And like I said, I would not hire her just to be first and win the press conference. I mean, I can get all the money I want in here, but if we don't win, do I win? Right? And I'm telling you, I think the next 2 years are so critical because of that text we got at the beginning of this segment, where there's a faction of your league that thinks they're buying their time for 2 years to peel off and leave you behind. And so it feels to me, and I think it feels to you, right, JJ, that the next 2 years are critical to show that this program is pointed in the right direction, that is going to be competitive so it doesn't get left behind.
Yeah, but to be competitive, you need money.
I agree. No, I see that side.
Like you do. And
but does money mean you're going to win automatically? And I know I'm starting to sound like some people that I've been arguing with.
Yeah.
But, and again, I don't know.
It'll
like
help
I'm good
you in the player pool.
I wouldn't do it if it's just for, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're the first. Now, if I had the interview and she was, wow, okay. I like her offensive thoughts. I like what she does defensively. I like her connections. I like that she can bring a $10 million check from said company.
Yeah, if something like that could happen. Because it's not, because there can be different coaches. Some coaches are really good at being a head coach that does call plays or is really involved. But it's also, you look at the Baltimore Ravens and what she is doing right now, and John Harbaugh he's a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at, he's let his defense coordinator do his thing, the offense coordinator does his thing. He's able to manage it, and I think that's okay. Like, not every head coach is going to be great in having to sit there with the play sheet, calling one side of the football or the other. It's about setting the tone. It's about, all right, how hard does your team practice? What are you getting from your coaches? And then everything else that's involved with being a college head coach now.
It's an out of the box, not ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I'm listening.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, put her on the list. 505-246-0610. He just threw something at you. What do you think of that? I'm going to hold these over-under results another day.
Yeah.
We'll let you know how we did. And who's buying lunch. At least they can split it, right? We'll wrap it up. Everything you need to know as you go through your day. And the rest of your correspondence next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sal, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction
get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers and underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-post.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Your surprisingly great race? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you back home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. Got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on the streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back and moved there. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy.
All right, good day. It's been a hell of a week, man. You guys have been coming. It's been great to hear all the new callers, the familiar callers, and your opinions. I get it when things like this happen. We tend to get a bump and appreciate it, and just all the different points of view that you have shared with us this week. Really appreciate it. We were talking earlier about New Mexico State and how they turned around. Phil says on the text line, Jeff, Jerry Kill's a good coach. However, there's a however.
However,
he has the transfer portal that the other NMSU coaches didn't. Danny admitted that he should have gone to the portal sooner, which might have changed things here. He does. Every coach now has the transfer portal at their disposal. As an in, as an out. I mean, the door swings both ways now, right?
It does.
And so, how do you feel about that? But yeah. He certainly has that there. On your guy, Kareem Jackson, going to meet with Roger Goodell. It says, dude has as much self-awareness as Harden. He's absolutely going out there trying to hurt people. And it's everything in the way that he plays. Also, it's evident his inability to see that he even did anything wrong. All right.
So I was suspended 4 games.
Yeah.
This one from Stuart
what
on the suggestion from DC.
Yeah.
And what was the name again?
Megan Roseberg.
And Stuart made sure in the headline of the email to capitalize boldly. That's the stupidest suggestion I've ever heard.
Stupidest. Okay, why?
But no, nothing other than that. Just that.
Ron said outside the box. Jeff, if you're going to go that far outside the box, why not Katie Naida? Okay. Because Katie Naida has not been coaching the NFL, I would assume, right? Yeah. Jeremy, time for another all-new edition of JJ Bucks Get Off My Lawn. Jeff, what day was Thanksgiving? When did Thanksgiving become an excuse for kids to get the whole week off from school? Everywhere I went last week, the Utes were in the way. Sorry, dude. Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Marty.
Guys, there's an answer to every question. Well, they added more days to the school calendar. So
Yeah,
Right.
there's your response.
Thank you.
That's not why I called.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. I think where coaches go wrong, not going to pinpoint Danny, but I think where they go wrong is they go all out, recruit a guy like Dampier, right? He's just an example. I'm not saying that's the reason. What I'm saying is don't go out and recruit these guys, tout them the program, and then don't play them, right? I think that's where they go wrong. I've seen it not just at UNM. I've seen it some, other places. I think if you're going all in on certain kids and you're saying, yeah, we're going to, and I don't know what conversations took place. I think that's not a good thing. I don't think you go that direction. I think if you're really trying to out-recruit other schools and you're trying to bring in certain kids to your school, you got to play them from day one, in my opinion. The same can be said about Donovan Dent, right? I was concerned that they would lose him because, Mr. Basketball, California, and then you don't play him over a couple of other guys? So I was concerned from that standpoint. But I see that time and time again, and I don't think it's good strategy at all. Just my take. And that's not the reason he got fired. I think it's one of many reasons, but I think it's a big one.
Got it. All right, Marty, appreciate you. So play him.
Devin Dampier was not better than Dylan Hopkins to start the season. Might have been better at the end of the season.
Maybe.
Because he was a true freshman at practice that learned the playbook. Devin Dampier told us 3 weeks into the season he didn't know the playbook. And he had to get refocused. So Marty's insistence that they did something wrong, they didn't. It was a guy that developed as the season went on, and maybe down the stretch. Was Devin Dampier better? Yeah, by that point in time, but he wasn't to start the season.
I'm not even convinced he was better at the end. He was different and dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was better. There were times where he was better and times where I don't know that he was. People always lose the human element, and I don't know what the right thing is. Do you just, the guy came over for his 5th year, you just say, you know what, we're out of bowl contention, we're playing for the future, sit. And he's pretty good, and he was your starting quarterback. I don't, like if you were playing, let me ask you this. Let's say the Lobos were 5-5 going into the last 2 games. Or 4-6, and then they beat, or 4-5, they beat Fresno State. Or been 4-6, they beat Fresno State, and so the last game was for a bowl game. So you need the quarterback that gave you the best chance to win. Who do you think that quarterback would have been? Now, I know Marty thinks it would have been Devin Dampier. I'm not convinced. Are you?
I think the way that they played it out at the end of the season, I did not have a problem with.
No. All right, 505-246 if you want to get here. I don't either, to be honest with you. I don't either. I got a great email. Let me hit you with this one. He's not the right guy. Fellow NBAer and the other dudes. Jay Boogie and D'Angelo Calderon, that's you, D'Angelo Calderon, are spot on regarding Rocky Long. In short, the game has passed him by. Well, I don't know if I agree with that. And by the game, I mean NIL game, the transfer portal, and the game you need to play in order to be successful in FCS D1 college football today. Rocky has tremendous appeal to locals who are eligible or damn near eligible for AARP membership. But his name doesn't have quite the same appeal to players today, to put it very mildly. Hiring a young, cool assistant that's in touch with the game, and younger players won't be as effective as people think because that cool assistant won't be the guy in charge, and that makes a difference. We don't need a figurehead. I hope Eddie Nunez really does do his homework and is bold in his decision. In response to the he won't win the press conference comment, so I trade a lot of press conferences for more wins on the field. Funny how fans get up in arms on the text line, emails, and phone calls, but have zero interest in going to games. They'll continue to take pot shots from anonymity. Just hope they're not anywhere near Eddie's ear. Still laughing at the Crushers call. Grady and Santa Fe by way of UNM. If you missed this, it might have been Edward's best call ever. I said...
Hey, sorry, I got a call. Jeff, let me call you right back.
Yeah, best one ever. Best one he ever had.
Hey, sorry, I got a call. Jeff, let me call you right back.
It's like he's just calling you personally.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, buddy, what's up? All right. What are you looking into today as you go through your day? Well, you got NBA stuff. The in-season tournament, the final 8 is set. Boston at Indiana and New York at Milwaukee in the East. New Orleans at Sacramento. Phoenix at LA in the West. College football playoffs. You had Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Washington 3, Florida State 4. That came out yesterday, and I think that's what people are going to be talking about as we go through the day. Am I missing anything big?
Do any of the guards play alongside Donovan Dent?
Well, that's where I was going next. Global basketball tonight over on News Radio KKOB. Donovan Dent will play. Will Jamal Mashburn? Doubtful, according to Richard Pitino. And will Jalen House? Possible. They play Louisiana Tech, a 5-1 Louisiana Tech team that is yet to be really tested. They lost their one test at Colorado State by 8 points. But you get that over on News Radio KKOB tonight. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip, 6:30 pregame. What do you expect out of that tonight?
It's the continued development of this roster. They were thrown multiple curveballs from Nelly Jr. Joseph being out of the country for the entire summer, the Jalen House injury to now Jamal Mashburn being hurt. They've had to adjust their expectations of who they want to be. And so Donovan Dent has been good, and I agree with that. Donovan Dent deserves to be a starting player for the Lobos. But now it's how do you continue to find that rhythm alongside him? Rich Pitino was talking yesterday, he wants more of that Pepperdine flow, moving the basketball, the assist, and finding some shooters on the perimeter would be nice moving forward.
Yeah. All right, good stuff today. Great contributions all week. Keep it coming tomorrow. Jerry Palm's going to be with us tomorrow. CBS Sports will be going to the final week of college football season. I mean, it's championship
weekend.
Yeah. We'll also get into, we'll go through and decipher who won and who lost in our over-unders, our preseason stuff. Jim Rome Show is next. I heard with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. Global basketball over on News Radio at 6:30. Adrian, great work. DC, always great work. Appreciate you. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Sal? Ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. ProView Networks.